Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi. Let me greet everybody real quick. Revorten Hadugu Dog, Ola Oi to the Bang, Vassas Los, Bonjour Miss Me, Ketabani Bawani, Konnichiwa, Ni Hao Ni Ama, Sani Wanani, Jumbo Habarigani, Assalamu alaikum and Shalom. Okay, so this is a video in response to all the news that I am figuring out and that I'm getting from other people in reference to how people are stealing my style, my all the rest of that, right? And I really don't have a problem with that. But we got a dude by the name of Ringo, who apparently is another joke pandering to the BW, just like many of the other dudes on YouTube. And you'll see that there's a crop of dudes that come up right after the real old school dudes that was putting out real information, all right, that were exposed to people in deep-seated hatred by our own for telling the truth. And so what you have here that came up in our place after our channels was destroyed by the BWs, what you have here is a bunch of new dudes that really are not independent thinkers. Understand this. They are not independent thinkers. They catch on to what other people are doing, and they're doing this solely for the purpose of making money. And you know this because, again, the low-hanging fruit is the Afro man. And not only is the Afro man under attack by the Caucasian system, by the BW, but the Afro man is under attack by these people who want to make money off of his back. You know, the way Black Lives Matter did. Got rich enough to buy a bunch of houses. These dudes are the same way. All right. So during my live, this dude, Rashawn Talley, he came on, say Ringo was going to expose, I don't know what. I'm pretty much open about my life. And he don't really love my life like that. But the people that watch my channel know because I'm pretty open about it. So what was he going to expose? What? I got cancer? I talk about that. Prostate cancer? I talk about that. That I dated people outside of the community, like females outside of the community that wasn't all the way black. Oh, well, I featured the main one, my main relationship on my live videos. So what was he going to say? Ooh, he's dated pros? Well, yeah. Knowingly and unknowingly. I said that too. Because I intended to enjoy the rest of my life. And I wasn't going to let ignorant dudes who know nothing, who are sellouts to the community, try to make me a celibate monk. All right? Which is how I got the cancer in the first place. I spent so much time helping people that I never really took time out for myself. And I should have left this country a while back to find relationship with women outside, not only of this community, but of the United States. So this fella tells me about this Ringo thing. And before I really go further, let me remind you, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. And I want to hear y'all's comment about what these guys are doing, because he reminds me of somebody. He reminds me of somebody. I went and I looked at his channel, and the reason why you will never be able to fix any kind of relationship with the BW is because people like this will use them and cater to the just the bottom for them and say it's all well and good. It's not your fault. It's the man's fault. Even though he's a man, this is the weakness in these kind of dudes. And so this is the respect that people have for Kevin Samuel, a lot of dudes. Because Kevin Samuel just speaks to the women and he critiques them. But this dude is trying to be like Derek Jackson, where everything that the woman do is the man's fault. This dude ignores evidence and tells he had a video about fathers who are not in the lives of children. And he is so ignorant that he don't realize that, of course, those fathers that the women chose to be the fathers were not the good men. 52% of men do not have children at all. So they don't have to be in anything. Then there's 36% of Afro men who have wives. There are more Afro men that have wives than black women who are married. But see, they don't tell you that. All right. And then when you really look at it, most of the BWs are having their children from men that just got out of prison. And the men that just got out of prison are having multiple children from multiple different women. So you can't expect those men to be everywhere at once. But see, dudes like him ignore all of that. They ignore the numbers. That's why people respect Kevin Samuels, even though they disagree with a lot of his premises, because when he do use the numbers, he used the number correctly. And when he do check the women, he do check them with the numbers. Even though we agree that he's trying to get more women for men like him. We agree with that. But he's honest about that. He says he's an image consultant. That's what they do. All right. But this dude is just disingenuous, along with others who are trying to make money off of the work of other men, or by catering to every whim of the BW and lying to them. And so long as brothers like this ain't even a brother, so long as dudes like this lie to these females, we have no other choice but then to seek women that can carry our seeds from outside of this country, because it's dudes like that that poison these women by telling them that all their wicked choices is the man's fault. And then this is dudes like this that ignore all the data, even though the data is now in everybody's face, that most of the Afro men are good. Many are choosing not to have children with these females, but that don't stop the Pookies and Ray Rays. See, because they don't have anything to lose like the men that make a living for themselves, make life comfortable. And while them single mothers desire to have somebody to help them with them kids, as they call them, instead of children, The Afro man is okay with being alone. You know why? Because we get to travel at will. We don't have to worry about anybody. Now, when you go overseas, yes, you do have an advantage by coming from the United States. No one ever said that that wasn't the case. But even then, your advantage is not lesser than the white man that comes from the United States, because these women will look at you and the Caucasian man the same. Unlike in the United States, where the very BW will rate the Caucasian man over you, even if he has no legs, literally has no legs, literally is in a racist organization, literally. Why? Because they want that image of a child with good hair, not realizing that the best hair we have is our afros, our natural afros. And then the other thing, they used to own the men, children, family members, and they were terrible slave owners. Yeah, the BW, to the tune of 70%. You know who didn't really get to own as many slaves as the BW? Yeah, the Caucasian woman. She couldn't even get property. Whereas under manumissions, the BW got a lot of property. But them ignorant dudes, like this dude, just want you to forget about that. And at the end of the day, when you go somewhere, these are the women that try to cape for you, the good Afro man. Understand this. And we know this from traveling. A lot of brothers know this from traveling. And we're sharing what happens. A lot of dudes stayed in the Philippines and got married. Or stayed in the Philippines and stayed with girlfriends. Understand? A lot of dudes traveled to Brazil, got married. Traveled to Colombia and got married. Colombia, the third lowest divorce rate. That's why I decided to go there. And I'm honest about it. But this dude is dishonest. Y'all got to remember that crock of food I was telling y'all about. All right? These dudes are disingenuous. And you got to watch them. All right? This is why men like that who see an opportunity to do this Patreon and all of this stuff, put other people's videos up there just to make money, right? What was he going to expose? Nothing. What was he going to expose? And this is why a lot of people don't come at me like that. This is why they shut my channel down. Because I do what I say I do. And they know all the money I ever made on YouTube went to children. Went to getting there to give to children. Went to even the children in the community where I got no love from the BWs there. See, they know this. They see it. So that's what makes them jokes. They're panderers trying to make money off of lying to the BW in a way by pretending to critique those that are telling the truth. At the end of the day, you see that the devil has a lot of tools in his handbag. And most of his tools look like, well, me, you, if you're a brother, if you're a part of the Afro community. Our biggest enemies are the liars within the communities that keep this deception and wickedness against the Afro man propped up. Not with data, but lies and hiding the data. so that the BW will never repent, and then they end up destroying the community as a whole. Oh, and it's being destroyed by them dudes and the BW. But what they didn't see is a lot of brothers getting them passports and leaving and building communities elsewhere. And we are communicating one with another. That's that international enclave. The BWs can continue to hit the wall, and that dude, he's going to be judged by the Most High with them. Remember, this is still a no depolicing zone. Watch out for the crack of food, because the BW and the simps like this wield it just as effective as the Caucasian destruction Afro family destruction machine. With that said, I'm out.